across the legs at the center of the shins, roll the fronts of the thighs in and broaden the backs of the thighs and the pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor is the base of the pelvis, roll towards the forward edge of the sit bones at the base of the pelvis, at the same time drawing the sacrum in and up. And lengthen the whole torso from the tailbone to the head. Imagine you've got a string pulling you up and you're effortlessly dangling there. Use your fingers, teacup hands. Bring your hands behind you, either on your support or on the floor. Bend your elbows a little back, press down. Now release your thighs down, root your outer hips and thighs down, and then lift the sides of the body. Look at the center, now lift the sides, outer hips to armpits. And then find that reverse C in your armpit chest. Back of the armpit to the front, front of the armpit up, and your edge of the shoulder blades down. Now rest your hands on your thighs. I'm going to show you your shoulder blades. These are my hands showing you your shoulder blades. So you can just rest your hands here. Your shoulder blades are in your back, right? So the top edge of the shoulder blade broaden and the bottom edge of the shoulder blade bring in. See if you can find that. Then rolling your upper arm bones back, take the outer edge of your shoulder blades back and the inner edge of your shoulder blades deeper in. So now you firm your shoulder blades onto your back. This is your mid-back core to help you keep the lift of your chest. Okay, so that is an important action to help lift and open the breathing apparatus. There are 17 muscular attachments to the shoulder blade, which is huge. No tendons, no ligaments. So that's why there's always shoulder problems and shoulders are challenging. Knees and hips are so much more straightforward than shoulders. So, because we have wings, right? The collarbones and the shoulder blades, those are our wings. So we should be moving from there when we move our arms, which we often don't. Okay, so now, sitting well, draw the chin back a little. So the ears line up over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, and settle down into your seat. Even as you lift the torso and open the chest, draw the chin down and back a little. So the back of the neck is long like a swan. Let your eyes look down or close. Touch in with your breath for a few moments. Feel the breath at the tips of your nostrils. And then going a little further into your nasal passages, sense the hairs in the nasal passages swirling as you breathe. Those little hairs communicate with our nervous system. When the breath is slow and deep, the nervous system relaxes because of the signals from the nose hairs. Go further back the nasal passage to the very back of the nasal passage at the very top of the throat, in between the ears. Opening that area, imagine that you're smelling something delicious, like the scent of a rose in the early morning dew. Maybe you can feel the flow of breath in the nasal, in the sinus cavities in your face, the forehead, temples, cheeks. Just imagine you breathing at the level of the skin of your face. And then sense the breath in the windpipe, in the throat, the trachea. And then follow that down from the throat into the chest cavity. Now you feel the breath moving into your lungs, right and left. As you inhale, the diaphragm is your breathing muscle. It cuts across the body 360 degrees, connecting to the ribcage all around. As you inhale, the diaphragm moves down, engaging, and then the lower ribs expand like the wings of a bird, out and up. And as you exhale, the diaphragm comes back to rest in its dome shape, and the ribs come in. Inhale, the diaphragm moves down, the ribs move out, and then the side ribs open like bucket handles, moving out and up. Also in the back. And as you exhale, the ribs come in, and the diaphragm releases back up under the ribs in its neutral, relaxed shape. Inhale, the diaphragm moves down, the ribs flare out, expanding the torso, and then into the upper back and chest as well, for the full yogic 3-part breath. And then as you exhale, the upper back, chest, ribs, and diaphragm release back down. The first rib is above your clavicle, which is those are the bones, the collarbones at the front. The 60% of the lung capacity is at the back of your body. So pay attention to the breath in the upper back, side ribs, and so on. Feel your body creating space for the air to come in. And then as you relax, there's less space and the air goes out. It's a natural breath. And then we'll do our opening chant. We'll do Oms and Shantis together, and we'll do the opening chant calm response. So bring your hands into Namaste Mudra, prayer position. Now find the base of your thumb at your wrist and bring that to the base of your sternum and press firmly there. And then lift the sternum bottom to top. And once again, lift your upper arm bones and roll them back and firm your shoulder blades onto your back. Your fingers all the way together and pointing up. And then inhale deeply, exhale first, and then we'll inhale deeply for Om. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam, Sahaviryam, Bhavavahai, Tejasvi, Tejasvi, Navadidam, Navadidam, Astu Ma, Astu Ma, Vidvishavahai, Vidvishavahai, Om. The breath and lift your heart. As you exhale, move your head forward from the base of your neck and then release your head over, chin towards your chest, and release your hands down to your thighs. Soften the front of the throat and draw the trachea, the windpipe, towards the back of the neck as you release the muscles up at the back of the neck and the base of the skull. Maintain the lift of the center and the side body. So this is called Jalandhara Bandha, the throat seal, and it's a soft closure of the throat, not a gripping in the throat. And this stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. The nerves for rest and digest, part of our nervous system, are in the sacral and neck area. So this stimulates that. And allow the energy from your brain, eyes, and other senses to descend out of your head and come down into your heart center. Expanding the back, sides, and front of your body, as well as up and down from your heart center. And have a sense of yourself emanating from there. And with your eyes closed on an inhale, curl the back of your neck up. Center your ears over your shoulders. And with your eyes closed, raise your gaze so that when you do open your eyes, you're looking straight ahead. Move your eyes to the back of your head so there's less pressure on your eyelids. And once again, drop down from the back of your head to the back of your heart and all the way down to your seat. And then let your eyelids float open. Okay, so now we'll come down onto the back for the first part of the breathing. And we'll do some different hand positions lying down. So you can, so what I would do, first of all, we'll rest in Shavasana for a couple of breaths, the corpse pose. If you do the breathing, you'll have your knees bent and you can have your feet, hard knees together. If you prefer your legs straight, that's fine. If you prefer your legs, bent over bolster, that's fine. You can have something under your head and neck, whatever support you need. And then we'll rest the hand on the abdomen and the ribs and the chest as we breathe. So, and using the breathing app, which has got a tone that we will follow, with the breath. So the first thing is just go ahead and relax in Shavasana, the corpse pose. This is sort of the segue into more subtle practices of breathing and meditation. So when you come into Shavasana, the corpse pose, it's anatomically neutral, basically. So your feet are about hip width apart and let your feet fall apart. So that your inner thighs and legs relax. And your arms are away from your sides with your palms turned up so that your chest opens a little bit. So maybe take a little more space so that you are, so you want to have, it's about halfway between the sides of the body and the shoulders so that you're not cramping the armpits or the shoulders. And then let your fingers curl, don't extend, so that everything is totally relaxed. Okay? And neutral. And then, of course, everything isn't totally relaxed. And what you want to start to sense is where your body meets the mat, the floor. And what parts are soft and what parts are tense, and just sort of assessing your body and start at the level of your skin. See if you can soften the skin. And then the connective tissue under the skin. And then you can go a little deeper, the connective tissue surrounding the muscles, and then the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the bones, the nerves, the blood, the lymph. So the animal is always doing its thing, you know, the body, right? So we don't have to be in charge of breathing. We don't have to be in charge of the heart beating, the blood flowing, or the food digesting, or any of those things. Those are all happening without us knowing what's happening, right? Or that is happening. So just observe the miracle of the universe as it reflects in your body, and allow the animal to do its job instead of controlling, right? Just observing, and no judging either. Like, that's very common, right? So instead, think about being like an archaeologist, an explorer, curious about the landscape that you've entered. And then when you do feel dullness or tightness or sensation, see if you can swirl the energy a little there and soften and release and let go of the need to grip and hold on there. These are all our trauma reflexes and so on. It's a Shavasana, practicing letting go. And it is a practice, and it is not easy. It can be quite challenging and confronting. So then, for the first breathing, bend the knees one by one, and bring the feet comfortable distance from your hips and from each other. And if you like, you can allow the knees to fall in towards each other. And again, if you prefer to keep your legs straight, that's always fine. It's just so that your lower back releases a little bit more. And then you're going to bend your elbows and bring your hands on your abdomen and rib cage area. So your thumbs are at your lower ribs, your fingers spread open a little bit in your upper abdomen below your belly button. Your ring and pinky finger kind of point down towards your belly button. And then soften your hands and wrists and elbows and shoulders and so on. So make it comfortable for you. So you can do a little bit like this, Sharon. Yeah, and it's a little higher up. A little higher, yeah, So you're a little bit above the belly button, and you can feel those lower ribs as well. Yeah. Good, and then, so we're gonna do 2 minutes of what's called resonance breathing. And this means that you're slowing down the breath so that it will resonate with your parasympathetic nervous system and take you out of fight, flight, freeze and into rest, digest, ideally. So this is the practice of slowing down the breath. We're gonna do 2 minutes. And you're going to inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds. As you inhale, you'll observe how the abdomen rises and the lower ribs flare out. And as you exhale, how the abdomen falls and the lower ribs come back in. And we'll do 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, since this is the beginning class, and we'll see how everybody feels with that. You will meet possibly with some resistance from your nervous system when you start to regulate the breath. So the idea is to slightly nudge yourself into being able to regulate, okay? So you'll inhale on the up sound and exhale on the down sound. So go ahead and exhale and then we'll begin. And this is the inhale. Exhale. Ribs flare. Exhale the abdomen falls, the lower ribs come back in. Observing natural movement as you breathe and regulate the breath. Down breath. Inhale. Start to feel the diaphragm, but you feel the result of the diaphragm pushing down the abdomen sound. You feel the result of the diaphragm releasing back of the ribs, the abdomen is in. Focus on the movement of the diaphragm. Expansion of the ribs and lower body. Exhale. Stay release back. One more. Five palms up, extend your legs one by one, come back to shoulders, and take a couple of breaths, and continue to regulate your breath a little bit as you're able. Lengthening the inhale a little bit and lengthening the exhale. And then the second position we'll do is the thoracic breathing. That's diaphragm or abdominal breathing. Diaphragm is always moving, like the heart is always beating, because we're always breathing. That's our breathing muscle. But we can slow down and regulate the breath in order to create an effect in our nervous system. So this is what we're doing with regulating the breath. But it's also good to just observe the natural breath as well. I think that's another thing. So the next part is the thoracic breathing. Well, we're observing the ribs moving out to the side and into the back of the body. And as we exhale, observing that contraction in the diaphragm is still going to be moving, the abdomen is still going to be moving, but we're just focusing on the sensation of the thoracic breath. So go ahead and bend your knees again one by one. We're bring your feet a comfortable distance from each other and from your buttocks, and you can let the knees come together or not as you wish. And then bending your elbows, so you have two hand positions. It's a little easier if you just put your hands like on your ribs, a little bit the hands on the sides of the ribs and the fingers like here. So widen your elbows a little so you can get to the side ribs. If it's comfortable, turn your fingers so your thumb points down. And then you wrap the webbing, the tiger's mouth of your index finger and thumb around your ribs. Then you can give a little squeeze in. And then as you inhale, feel how the ribs move out into your hands. And as you exhale, feel how the ribs come back in. And you can follow the ribs a little bit with your hands and give a little squeeze in. And then as you inhale, you'll feel more expansion. And then as you exhale, you'll feel how the ribs move back in towards each other and towards the spine, okay? And always breathing through the nose as best you can. And if you have on glasses, you might want to take them off. You don't really need them, but if you feel more comfortable with them on, that's fine. So we're going to do 2 minutes of this breath. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. So go ahead and exhale. And then we begin. Inhale. Exhale. Follow the tone with your breath. Slow down the exhale. Inhale, the ribs expanded out to the side and into the back. Exhale, the ribs contract in towards the spine and towards each other. Give a little squeeze. Inhale, feel that expansion to the side and the back. Exhale, feel how the ribs come together and in towards the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Doesn't have to be a huge breath, right? It's just slowing down the breath. Inhale, you feel the movement outward. Exhale, you feel the movement. One minute, this. It's getting to know the breath. Slowing down. Sensing and feeling the breath from the inside of your body, as well as the muscular movement outside. Expand outward into your hands and into your mouth, the floor and back. Exhale, feel how the ribs come towards each other and in towards the spine. Inhale. Pop the palms up, extend your legs one by one, and come back to Shavasana. You can take 1 or 2 long breaths and then let the breath come back to its natural rhythm. Let's adjust. And then the third type of breathing that we'll do, or the third focus, the breath, will be the upper chest, collarbone, sternum area. So we'll do 2 hand positions. So we'll do 1 minute for each. So I'm going to show you. So just open your eyes for a moment. So you'll have one hand on your sternum with the fingertips touching the opposite collarbone, other hand on top of that. So your fingertips touch the opposite collarbones, just lightly, but you give a little pressure down onto your sternum, right? And then do that for 1 minute. And then the second minute, you can have your elbows on the ground, and then you can have your fingertips on their own collarbones. Take a look here, if you can see this one. This is the second minute. Okay? So this is the top chest breath. Alrighty? So then what we're gonna do is you can relax your arms for a second. We'll bend the knees and start the breath. And this is gonna be at 2 minutes again, 5 in, 5 out. For 1 minute, we'll do the one position, the second minute, we'll do the other position. So when you breathe into the top chest, it's not a huge movement, okay? It's the third part of the breath. It always starts at the diaphragm, then the ribs, then the top chest and upper back. You'll feel a little bit, the collarbones and the sternum are connected. You move out into the skin and up towards the chin, like an old-fashioned handle of a pump, right? Just a very little bit, they move out and up. So you want to just sense that movement, okay? And there's muscles in the neck that are secondary breathing muscles that help with that movement, so we create more breath. And just touch your collarbones for a second, and then touch above that, and you're gonna feel there's a rib up there. Your first rib is above your collarbone, and your lungs, they go all the way up there, all the way into the upper back. Remember, 60% of the capacity of our lungs is at the back of the body, so I want you to also feel the back of the body as we're breathing, okay? So, so then go ahead and bend your knees up 1 by 1, bring your feet flat. Remember, you can always decide to use your bolster if you prefer that. And go ahead and widen your feet a little wider. So that you can get more broadness in your buttocks and lower back. And then let your toes turn in, heels out, and then your knees come together. Don't squeeze your inner thighs, just let your buttocks release, okay? Then you can take your hand position and release your elbows a little bit down. Yeah, so they just sort of hug the side of the body. Exhale, and then we begin. Inhale. Exhale. Now, you're still, your diaphragm is big as you breathe, but focus on the top chest breath. Inhale, feel how the sternum moves into your hands. Exhale, feel how it releases back down. And feel the pressure. Inhale, feel how the breastbone and the collarbones move out and up towards your head. Exhale, they release back down. Inhale. You're still breathing in the other parts of the body, but just focusing on this top chest movement. Exhale. Inhale, feel the sternum and collarbone moving into your skin and up towards your chin. Exhale, they release back down. Inhale. Now let your hands slide down, your elbows touch the ground, and you have one hand under each collarbone. Inhale. Exhale. These are how your moons in yoga. Inhale, the moons become full under the collarbones. Exhale, they wane and become dark moons. Inhale. Can you feel that in your upper back as well, expanding? Exhale. Inhale, the chest expands in the upper back. Exhale. Two more breaths like this, sensing movement in the upper back and chest. Send your arms and legs and come back to Shavasana. Let go of the conditioning of the breath now and just sense and feel your breath and body as it is. So what I'd like to do next is a little bit of movement before we come to sit and do this whole process sitting again, okay? So this comes from a practice called Yoga Asana Sangraha. Sangraha means collection. That means collection of asanas. And these are floor poses down on the floor, lying down. And then their purpose is to help regain sensory motor feeling and control in the lower back and lower abdomen area, the pelvic area, which is the biggest hinge of our body. It tends to get stuck in the seated position because we tend to be there most of the day. So this will help with that. And also to be mindful about the breath as we're in this. So the first position, we're going to take the arms overhead. So you want to just check to see if you can take your arms overhead and not touch the wall. Then bring your arms back down. So then we're going to come into what's called Tadagi Mudra. So just bring your arms back down. And if you have difficulty taking your arms overhead, so there's two things. First is you're going to keep your arms to the outer edges of your shoulders or go wider when you take your arms overhead. Second thing is you can have support overhead. So if your arms don't go that far back, then you could have a bolster or blankets to rest your arms on or blocks, okay? So now so if you have support, if you can take it out for the moment, that would be good. So you're in Shavasana, the corpse pose. And then from here, engage your thigh muscles and roll your inner thighs down to the mat and bring your legs all the way together. And press the thighs down at the crease of the groin, firm around the kneecaps, and extend the front of your feet without hardening the soles of your feet. So you're not flexing, it's more of a point. And you're firming your legs as if you were standing or like you were in a headstand with your legs pointed up. Bring your arms all the way along your sides, palms down. So even though you're lying down, you're still engaging muscles, right? But you have the support of the floor beneath you, so it's a little easier. And then you can adjust your shoulder blades and firm your arm muscles to your bones, firm your leg muscles to your bones, firm your elbows and knees. As you exhale, pull your lower belly down towards your spine so your lower back comes a little more down. And then with your arms and legs firm, as you inhale, take your arms all the way up and over your head. Keep your elbows straight, keep your wrists straight, keep your knees and ankles and feet straight. Reach your arms up and overhead, keeping the hands just the way they were. So now the backs of the hands face the floor. And then you'll be here and breathe. So ideally, let's take this blanket out. Okay, and then you can use it for your arms and go wider with your arms. But so even though your arms are on the ground, they're not relaxed, they're engaged. Firm your triceps in, yeah? Use your legs to pull your hips away from your ribs. You'll feel a little length in the skin, perhaps. Use your arms and ribs to pull away from the hips. So lift your ribs up away from your hips, so you have a little more space between your hips and ribs. Tadagi means empty lake, and it's referring to the hollowing of the abdomen here. So every time you exhale, allow the back of the body to release toward, not with engagement, with release. Yes, with release. Each time you exhale, release the abdomen towards the back of the body. Not engaging, but releasing, deflating, and release the engagement of your back muscles. Firm your arms and legs. Extend your hands and fingers. Yes, reach and stretch. And breathe. Yes, into the hollow shape of your abdomen. Now, as you exhale, first of all, firm your elbows and knees again. Extend your arms and legs. Palms face up. As you exhale, draw the belly strongly in towards the spine and pull the ribs, front ribs down towards the back ribs. So your lower back ribs come toward the mat. And then as you inhale, raise your arms up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, lower your arms down to your sides. Straight elbows. Yeah, so it's like this. There's one movement. You can do it all on one breath, right? But you can also inhale the arms up and exhale. Straight arms. Don't bend your elbows. Yeah? Yeah. So look here. Keep straight. Keep firm the muscles and go. Keep firm, keep firm, keep firm, keep firm, keep. Yeah, it's like that. So that's always safer for your joints than moving with your joints not engaged. Okay, safer for your shoulders. Yeah. Okay, so now the arms come back to the sides, and then go ahead and come to Shavasana. Let the legs come a little apart. And if you need to, maybe just bend your knees a little. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And start to allow this to release as much as you can. Yeah? Good. Couple of breaths. The next move is called Dvipadapitam, two-footed stool, similar to bridge, but it's very gentle. It's not about achieving anything great. It's just about engaging those muscles and knowing how to engage and how to release them. Okay? Might be easier with the socks off. You'll see. We're going to lift the hips. So you're going to bend your knees 1 by 1. Bring your arms along your side. Have your feet about hip width toward the outer hips apart and feet parallel. Bring them close into the buttocks. Turn your palms to face each other. And if you can touch your heels, that's too close. So you don't want to be that close, but you want to end up with your knees more or less over your heels when you come up. And then lift your shoulders 1 by 1 and roll your shoulders a little under, scooting your shoulder blades together over your spine. And pull your lower belly a little bit in toward your spine, protect your lower back. Press the outer edge of the upper arm down and lift the armpit chest up. That's that reverse C in the armpit chest we did in the beginning of class. And you'll feel like a gentle curve in your whole spine in this position. Now press into your inner feet, pull your belly in toward your spine as you exhale. And then inhale, you come up slowly, pushing into your feet, lift your hips up a little bit. Let the back of your neck lengthen, the front of the throat soften. And observe the engagement of your hamstrings and your buttocks. Turn your palms to face each other and extend your fingers towards your arms, towards your feet. Yeah. You're trying to get your shoulder blades a little more under. Yes, like that. And bring your arm close and press down. Yes, good. Now, coming down, keep your hips up a little bit. And see if you can lengthen your spine down from top to bottom. So collapse your chest, collapse your ribs, feel the spine coming to the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Vertebra by vertebra. Okay. Yeah. Good. And then lower down. Take a breath. We're going to repeat it a couple of times. It's a pose that bears repeating. Okay. So once again, check that your feet are parallel and back hip width distance. You can go with your feet, yeah, and then towards your buttocks too. There you go. Yeah. Now lift one shoulder, roll it under. So when we roll it under, it tends to pull down a little bit. That's not the idea. It's more to just go under and scoot the shoulder blades together over the spine. So you have that lift of the chest. Yeah. And the arms are active, fingers are extending, and your arms are pressing down, especially the outer edge of the upper arm and the inner feet. The knees are right over the ankles. Yeah. Good. Press into the inner feet. Feel how that pulls the knees in a little bit. Press the lower belly into the spine, exhaling, and then inhale, push into your feet and lift your hips up a comfortable amount. And ideally, you don't have anything under the neck because it could push your chin too much into your chest, but if you need that, you can. But when you lift your hips, allow the back of your neck to lengthen, the front of the throat to soften. Now, push a little bit more into your heels and see if you can lift up a little bit more towards the tops of your shoulders. Engage your butt and legs. Feel your hamstrings moving towards your sitting bones, that's the backs of your thighs. And then move your sitting bones towards the backs of your knees to lengthen your lower back, even as you engage and lift your buttocks. And then coming down this time, see if you can just relax your inner thighs and groins, widen your pelvic floor. Don't harden your lower back, just release your buttocks down by softening your buttocks, your inner thighs and your groin. Take a breath. Relax. This is the counter pose to sitting, right? Which we do 24/7. Okay, so this is what we're doing now, is opening the front of the groin, right? So one more time, squeeze the shoulder blades together, firm your arms and press the upper arm down, press the inner feet down, exhale, pull the belly to spine, and then inhale, come up. So don't be in a big rush to come up, but rather motor plan it, and then come up mindfully, really sensing and feeling as you come up. And it's not about pushing the abdomen out, right? It's about engaging the hamstrings at the backs of the thighs. Here, yes, that goes towards the sitting bones, and then the sitting bones go towards the hamstrings, and you engage and lift the buttocks up at the tailbone and open the front of the groin. Yes. 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 Now you slowly lower down, either vertebra by vertebra or by softening the buttocks and the inner groins and lowering the hips down without hardening the back. So you can decide which one works for you, or you can do a bit of both. Okay, now, we'll do one more pose before we come to Shavasana, which is called Nabi Darshanam. Nabi is navel, Darshanam is gazing, so you're gonna gaze at the navel. So your knees are bent, feet are hip width apart, palms come down now. Now, we did a pelvic tilt, rolling the hips forward, which is their natural tilt, and we went a little more forward maybe. Now you roll the hips back, which is a pelvic tuck. So you're pressing your lower back down, sitting bones and tailbone curl up. Now, exhale, roll your shoulders towards each other at the front of your body so your shoulder blades separate. And then sink your chest down, and all the air out, come up, head and shoulders come up, look at your belly button. It's an abdominal crunch. Now you can breathe, it's restricted, right? You breathe into your upper back and chest. Look at your belly button. Yeah, arms are right beside your body. Neck. Yes, so not using your neck, ideally, okay? You're using this, yes, and this, yes, yeah, you're talking. Yes, you have abs. Now you slowly release down. Yes. Good. Arms out to the side, palms up, extend the legs, and rest in Shavasana. You see, we're very much in our heads, right? Not in our bodies, number one. So we use our arms, hands, and fingers a lot, but we don't, our legs we use to walk and sit primarily, if that. Torso is just like, no man's land. But torso is where the nervous system, all the precious organs reside, the vast amount of our power and tension, right? So we want to move from there, ideally, yeah, because you get stuck like a block of cement. Okay, so the next pose is called Pavana Muktasana. It's a variation of wind relieving pose. And again, it's really working slowly with moving your body from the center. Okay, so you're gonna bring your legs together, bend your knees one by one, bring your feet flat, and line up the inner edges of your feet and legs. Arms are along your sides. Now, once again, you're gonna roll your hips back. So your sitting bones and tailbone curl up. And you sink your waist down and press your lower back down just above the top of your pelvis. Bring your right foot up off the ground and towards your chest. Interlace your fingers and hold your right knee on the shin just below the knee. Flex your right foot. Now let your right leg fall forward into your arms. Keep your fingers firmly interlaced and then press your right leg forward into your arms until your arms straighten. So you have a push-pull. Arms straight, push the knee away from you, yes. Roll your hips back, press your lower back down. Feel how your left foot gets light. Lift it an inch off the mat and extend it out on the mat and lay it down on the mat, extending the front of your left leg. and foot. Head down, head down. Yes. Now, extend the front of your left leg and press the back of the left leg down. And as you exhale, relax your right buttock and crease of the groin and right thigh and shin and calf and foot. And let your right leg fall into your abdomen now. Your elbows will bend. And then deflate your abdomen and feel the top of your hip on the right side. Let it move down towards the sitting bone. Let the sitting bone move up along the back of the thigh, towards the back of the knee, as you draw the knee up towards the chest. Yeah, let your hips roll back. Tuck your chin, roll your shoulders up, press your lower back down, and then exhale and curl up. Head up, chin, nose, forehead towards the knee. And extend the front of your left leg. Pointing, yeah, and press it down. Good, and come to the inside of your knee, so you're more in the middle than to the side. Yep, use your ribs, sink your waist. Use your front body. Yeah. And then inhale and slowly release. Head, shoulders down. Exhale, let your right leg fall forward into your arms till your arms straighten. And then push it forward until you feel the pull of your arms. Press your back down strongly above your hips. Your left foot will float up a little. Bend your left knee, place the foot flat. Place the right foot next to the left and change legs. Left knee to chest, holding at the shin just below the knee. Flex the left foot and then let it fall forward till your arms straighten. Feel how your arms, muscles, and tendons and so on pull as you push your leg forward, roll your hips back. So it's a push-pull and press the low back down. Right foot floats up, extend the right leg out on the mat. Extend the front of the right leg and press the back of the right leg down. Take a breath, and as you exhale, release your left leg. Relax your buttock, your hip, your lower back, your groin, inner and outer thigh, top thigh, back thigh, calf, shin, foot. In your abdomen, so like in Tadagi Mudra, you can lift the ribs a little away from the hips, so there's a hollowing in your abdomen. So there's space to bring the knee in and draw the knee up towards the chest and press the leg. Point the right foot, flex the left, exhale, all the air out, roll the shoulders up, and then take the head up. Chin, nose, forehead towards the knee. So your shoulders come together in the front of your body. Yes. And then you sink your waist down and press the back of the right leg down. Breathe here into your upper back. Try to keep your right leg straight. Doesn't matter if your head touches the knee or not. And then you inhale and release your head and shoulders down. And exhale, press your left leg into your arms till your arms straight. Roll your hips back till the top of your hips and your lower back touch the ground. Feel how your right foot gets light. Come an inch off the ground, bend the right knee, lower the right foot down, lower the left foot down, extend the legs, extend the arms, come to Shavasana, and take a rest. So I would imagine that the back of your body is feeling different now than when you began. Right, and the front too, but so you feel like you're flat on the floor, right? Yeah, and that's the idea. So we'll do one more laying down pose, which will take us up to sit. Okay, and it's called Supta Vajrasana, and all these names have different poses associated with them in different practices. So that's what it's called here. And we come to it from Tadagi Mudra, so which is the first pose we did. So roll the legs in, bring the legs together, bring the arms along the sides, palms down from your elbows and knees, arms and legs. As you exhale, sink your waist down. Always that means really the lower belly to the spine and then the sides of the waist down. And then with firm arms and legs, inhale, take your arms up over your head again in Tadagi Mudra, the first pose we did. Reach your arms and legs apart from each other and hollow the abdomen. Get a little more length in the waist between the hips and the ribs. And then as you exhale, sink your lower front ribs down to your lower back ribs and sink your lower back ribs down to the mat and sink your lower belly to your spine as much as you can. Press the back down. Bend your knees up one by one. Cross the feet at the ankles. Flex the feet, hook the feet, and pull the knees apart. So this is an isometric contraction in your pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is the bottom of your pelvis between your inner thighs. It's engaging and it's spreading. And your knees drop in towards the sides of your body as much as you can, off the ground. Yes, you're using your abdomen. Tuck the chin. So you're here. Yeah, you're using the center of your body that does exist. And it's not like you have to do a huge amount of repetitions to make it work. You just have to wake it up. It's there, it just needs to be woken up. You woke it up. Good. Good. Now, change the cross of your legs. Sharon, if you can, keep your arms overhead. You're not using your arm. You don't need that. Come on. No hands, Mom. Reach your arms, straight your arms. Yes, Hook your feet. Pull your feet and knees apart. And towards your sides of your body. Yes, there you go. Good. Now, firm waist, firm arms. Inhale, raise your arms up. Wrap your arms around your two knees. One hand takes each knee. Relax your feet. Come to the outside. Yeah. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little compression. Keep your feet crossed. Relax, relax. You don't have to engage now. Yes. Relax and breathe. Yes. Yes. Deflate like a tire. Hold its own knee. Yeah. That's more. And then just relax. I mean, you really don't need much. Look at you. You're like a little seed. Yes. Good. I'm giving you each a little compression so you can kind of see where you might need to go and lengthen the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders, sink the waist. Yep. Gaze across the feet. Draw the knees a little bit in. Yeah, lengthen the back of the neck. Relax the feet, even though the feet are crossed. Yeah. Good. Okay. Good. Yeah. They don't need to do anything. Good. And then the rolling up to sit part, it will be new for you, except for Marky. So what you do is lift your legs up a little. So your knees are bent, your feet are crossed. Exhale all the way out, press your lower back down, look between your legs towards me. Yeah, good. And then you just keep your chin curled in, tuck your feet and roll up. Yes, yes. It'll come. Yes, okay, good. How are you feeling? Pretty good, right? I know. So this is what I teach in my asana class, you know, and that's other things too, but I find this so helpful. It's just basic, what we need for the most part. So now we're going to repeat those breathing things we designed down, sitting. Okay, so you're going to take whatever you need for your comfort. The sit, cross-legged.
I am never comfortable cross-legged.
Okay, so you don't have to sit cross-legged.
But I can't figure out what to do at all.
Okay, well then you should sit in Virasana. So, so put a blanket on your mat.
But I'm just like, I'm always watching other people thinking I'm supposed to do something.
Okay,
I'm just like, I can't.
so you want to sit up on more height and see if that's helpful. So fold your blanket in half like this.
Yeah.
So it's, you get out the prop wall flat.
Yeah.
So you fold it in half like that, and you can have 2 or 3 blankets like that. Okay, yeah, but see how mine's folded in half like this?
Yeah.
Yours is still open. So now if you can get more height, if you fold each one of those in half, then you don't need 16 blankets. Because your butt's not that big. Now, if we're a small group and you need, it's fine, but I'm just saying, you know, we have plenty of blankets, but if you
I
don't.
promise, once I feel my sit bone set, I cannot get my legs to relax.
Okay, so put one more blanket. Yep. And this is important, if you can't get comfortable sitting, it's not gonna be good, and if it's still not comfortable, then you don't have to sit cross-legged, it's not mandatory, however, I'm gonna make a suggestion. So see how you're doing like this?
Yeah.
So remember when I said at the beginning of class, cross at the center of your shins, yes, now scoot your buttocks back. Scoot your buttocks back, stick your butt out, lift your hips and move your butt back.
I don't want to take the sign.
No, just stay where, yes, that's it. Now, so you just, and then roll the front thighs in, back thighs out. No, 2 hands, because otherwise what you do is you pull the skin, it's gonna be too sharp on your sit bone. You don't wanna pull the skin away. You wanna roll, and also you wanna turn the thighs. Yes, with the roots.
Okay.
You're feeling that now, yeah. And can you feel your pelvic floor broadening?
Yes.
Yes, and your sitting bones also. So you roll to the forward edge of the sit bones, and that helps you draw the sacrum in and up. You need the support of the sacrum, so you can you get your shins? You see, you're still wanting to go wide here.
Mhm.
Go narrow.
I want to go lower.
No,
No, don't, I'm going lower. Okay. It's just me.
go narrower with your knee. Yes, like that. Yes,
Okay.
okay. Now, if you're still uncomfortable, you can take a blanket and you can do different things with it with your feet, right? So you can cross, so you can do it like this, and you cross. There's a little bit of support under you here.
I think this might work.
Okay, everybody comfortable? Are you comfortable? Yeah, okay, good. So now, we're gonna do this breathing again. 2 minutes. So the first one is the abdomen. So we're just gonna change it up a teeny bit, okay? So you're going to take your hands over your navel. That's your belly button. Okay, one hand on top of the other, and then you let your elbows rest down. Okay, now when you inhale, you're gonna feel your belly pushing out into your hands, and when you exhale, keep the hands there, and then feel the belly pulling away from the hands. Does that make sense? Inhale, belly pushes into the hands, so it's like this. Hands together, like this. Okay, yeah, that's fine, yeah. And then exhale, belly goes in towards the spine, away from the hands, okay? So exhale, and we'll begin. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly in. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly in. Try not to rock your spine, so keep your spine unmoving. Inhale, belly comes out. Exhale, the belly goes into the spine, away from the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, imagine you're breathing something, smelling something delicious in the back of the throat. Exhale, so it's easy to breathe. Just noticing the breath of the belly. Inhale, the diaphragm moves out. Down, the belly moves out. Exhale, the belly moves in, the diaphragm moves back up under the ribs. You also feel the lower ribs. Five seconds. Exhale. Conditioning of the breath and observe your natural breath. So the second position is the ribs, right? Thoracic breathing. So you're gonna bring your hands. Let's see. Onto your ribs. So you can either have your, just the heels of hands at the outside edge of the ribs with the thumbs forward, or again, take that tiger's mouth, turn the thumbs back, right? And then so your inner edge of your index fingers around your ribs, same idea. Okay, relax the shoulders a little, lift the chest. And then inhaling, you'll feel the ribs expand into your hands, and as you exhale, they release in towards the spine and towards each other. You can give a little push in so you can feel more. So we'll do 2 minutes, 5, exhale, and we begin. Inhale, ribs expand out. Exhale, ribs come in. It's the thoracic breathing. Thorax is the rib cage. Inhale, feel the ribs expand inside and back body, especially. Exhale. Feel the diaphragm moving out. Focusing on the sensation of the ribs. Inhale, feel them moving out. expansion. I think that would squeeze in. Onto your ribs. It now maybe a bit more expansion. Towards a really relaxed breath. In the beginning, what you're trying to feel is the movement of your torso when you breathe, right? And if your torso is very tight, which for most of us it is, especially the ribs, it may not move very much, right? So then it feels forceful. But you're working towards that being a relaxed effort and lengthening the breath, thin breath, quiet breath, peaceful breath, right? But this takes practice, really. I mean, I know we think we're all breathing, but you know, we want to lengthen the breath and make it, you know, and it's not like all the time we're gonna have that long of a breath, but if you're breathing 5 to 8 breaths a minute, that's resonance breathing. That's not how we normally breathe. Normal is more 12 to 15, but, and many people it's a lot faster, right? Because they're anxious, barely breathing, holding a lot of carbon dioxide inside, not exhaling, right? So we're slowing down the breath in order to reset our nervous system, coming out of fight, flight, freeze, and into rest and digest. So the third pattern, we're gonna do slightly differently this time. You're gonna bring one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, okay? So then you're gonna inhale belly, ribs, chest is the last part for the 3-part breath. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly, okay? 2 minutes. Exhale and begin. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest and upper back. Exhale, chest and upper back, ribs, and belly. Inhale, heart breath. Running the back of the hips, smelling something delicious. Let's engage with the diaphragm, goes down, ribs expand, the chest and upper back. Exhale is just a slow release. That's it. The spine straight. Closer up the sides. Five seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Breath from the inside of your body. Five spirit. Nobody have to. That's the shot. Awesome. Okay, so we're ready. Go ahead and it's 10:17. The rest, which is no rest for the wicked. I'll clean up. Sorry to keep you a little longer. It's hard to squeeze all this into 1 hour. And so if you're enjoying it and want to come back, we can always adjust it to your needs and desires and so on. So, but go ahead and rest in Shavasana for 3 minutes. It's important to rest after. and let that energy that you've created absorb into your whole being, so, and really sense and feel, and say, this is, I like this state. I wanna be in this state more. And use whatever props you might need at this point. And blankets or anything you like. And the connection comes through the more subtle quality of our breath, called prana, or chi, or ki, energy, or life force. And the more subtle aspect of prana, or chi, or ki, or biomagnetic energy is mind. So they're a continuum: breath, energy, mind. So 14, she breathes on. But don't move the extremities, rather bring your awareness through your breath into all the parts of your body, into your whole torso, hips and shoulders, neck and head, arms and legs, hands and feet, toes and fingers, through the skin, connective tissue, muscles and tendons, ligaments and bones, and all the fluids and so on. And then you start to Make the breath a little deeper, wiggle the fingers and toes, and roll the ankles and wrists when you're ready, and bend the elbows one by one, bring the hands onto the belly again for a couple of mindful, deeper breaths into the belly. And then you can bend your knees up one by one, bring your feet flat on the ground, ground your support if you like. You can bring your feet right on that bolster. And then let your lower back release towards the mat. Let your abdomen release towards your lower back. Let your abdomen hollow at the lower belly. You can even touch down there a little bit and see if you can allow that to soften towards the spine. And then when you're ready, roll over to your side and rest on your side for a couple of breaths. You can rest your head on your blankets or on your arm if you like. Let your back be round and soft. And then when you're ready to come up, you bring your one hand on the ground and look towards the ground and bring the other arm down and let your head hang and round your spine a little. Pull your waist in as you come up instead of engaging your back. A little towards the ground and then push up with both arms. Look at the ground. Yes. Yes. And then come to sitting. We'll do one Om and then our closing chant with Lokaha, Samastaha, Supino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere in all the worlds and all levels of existence and so on be happy, healthy, and free from suffering. And then Shanti together. So you can take the Namaste mantra if you like. Exhale and then inhale deeply for Om together. Om. Samastaha, Samastaha, Sukhino, Sukhino, Bhavantu, Bhavantu. Listening. Lokaha, Samastaha, Lokaha, Samastaha, Sukhino, Bhavantu, Sukhino, Bhavantu. And then all together. Lokaha, Samastaha, Sukhino, Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti. Peace starts within and radiates outward to those closest to us and hopefully